borders.
Notre organisme représente un large éventail d'Égyptiens et de citoyens d'origine égyptienne, ayant des appartenances politiques différentes, unis cependant par leur forte allégeance à la démocratie et à la primauté du droit, et croyant au recours à des moyens constitutionnels et démocratiques pour résoudre les différentes politiques et pour accéder au pouvoir. En dépit de cela, nous nous attendons à ce que les médias associés au coup d'État persistent à nous décrire, à tort, comme étant des membres des frères musulmans, description attribuée à tous leurs opposants.
Egyptians Worldwide for Democracy and Justice represents a wide spectrum of activists with different political affiliations, united only by their strong belief in democracy and the rule of law. We believe in constitutional laws and peaceful means to resolve political differences and establishing democratic systems. However, we are expecting that the pro-coup media will label us falsely as associates or members of the Muslim Brotherhood. Indeed, they label all anti-coup and pro-democracy people as such. Our principles of unity as Egyptians Worldwide for Democracy and Justice are: we reject the military coup and all its consequences, including the suspension of the 2012 Constitution, dissolving the Shura Council, the upper house of the parliament, and kidnapping the elected president, Dr. Mohamed Morsi. 2. We respect the right of all Egyptians who oppose Dr. Mohamed Morsi, and we do not believe in the sanctuary of any president or that he or she is above criticism and opposition. But we affirm that the legitimacy can only be attained through the ballot box, the only democratic way for governing and the only way to spare Egypt from sinking further into the present chaos.
Numéro 3. Nous rejetons toute intervention future ou présente par l'armée dans le processus politique, indépendamment de toute justification. 4. Nous refusons d'imposer l'état d'urgence et le couvre-feu en violation de la Constitution et nous insistons sur la protection des droits fondamentaux de chacun, y compris les manifestations et les campements pacifiques.
5. We reject banning any political party or group that existed before June 30th, 2013, and condemn labeling the Muslim Brotherhood or any other group as a terrorist organization without evidence. 6. We demand the release of all political prisoners and the withdrawal of all politically motivated charges against them.
7. Nous sommes fiers de la diversité politique, culturelle et religieuse en Égypte, que nous considérons comme une indication réelle de civilisation et de richesse du patrimoine. Nous soulignons que l'Égypte a besoin de tous ces regroupements pour accomplir développement et prospérité. Nous refusons toute exclusion ou marginalisation de tout citoyen ou citoyenne, ou groupe de citoyens ou citoyennes, sans raison juridique.
8. After defeating the coup, we demand that the legitimate authority will appoint an independent tribunal to investigate the violation of human rights and the massacres committed since January 25th, 2011. This tribunal should ensure fair retribution, implement the principles of transitional justice, and attempt to achieve national reconciliation. We will be monitoring the latest developments in Egypt and reporting facts censored by the authorities, as well as we will be announcing future activities and events on our website, which is www.eccd.ca.
Thanks, Madam Sama and Mr. Lutaif. Before I open the question period, I just would like to point out that the reason behind us choosing the Canadian Parliament as a place to announce this declaration is that our proudness of the democracy, and that's why we are here, because we're speaking about democracy that people in Egypt are losing those days after this military coup. At the same time, I would like to point out that this declaration has been announced already in Geneva 2 hours ago, being announced through these days on 8 different countries in Europe, and tomorrow in Washington in US, besides UK and Belgium, Spain, and as well Netherlands, Austria, and a few other countries in Europe. Would like to open the question period now. On any question will be addressed on the language of the question, and if needed, will be translated to the other language. Thank you. We actually received a statement from the NDP, Mr. Paul Dior, the critic of foreign affairs, in support of our movement, and I will ask Sama and Ihab again to come to alternate reading the statement from Mr. Paul Dior, the critic of foreign affairs from the NDP.
Statement by Paul Dewar, MP, Ottawa Centre, Foreign Affairs Critic, NDP. Since the ousting and detention of former Egyptian President Mohamed Morsi in July, the situation in Egypt has been extremely precarious and often disturbingly violent. Human rights groups have expressed serious concern over political violence committed in the wake of the assumption of power by the Egyptian military and the deterioration of an effective rule of law. The repeated extension of the state of emergency has further aggravated tensions. Women, religious minorities, and peaceful protesters have been particularly vulnerable, and attacks continue to be perpetrated with impunity. Regardless of gender, religion, or ethnicity, all Egyptians must be free to express their beliefs peacefully and publicly.
The Canadian government must continue urging Egyptian authorities to uphold basic human rights and support democratic liberties, including freedom of the press and peaceful association. The Canadian government should also encourage Egyptian authorities to work in collaboration with civil society and the international community in establishing a roadmap to restore full democracy under civilian control. An effective and respectful relationship between civil society and the state can help Egypt become a democratic example for its neighbors and a powerful force for moderation in the region. I'm proud to stand with Egyptians and Egyptian Canadians in supporting democracy, human rights,